For all the youngest, man, this shit may look pretty, man, but if you ready for this life, man, just make sure you ready, man, because it don't matter what gang you in, man. Niggas is dying, young, old, it don't matter.
Getting accepted into a gang isn't an easy process. You are required to prove yourself through a ritual known as initiation. These methods are brutal, often beyond imagination for the average person. Some initiation rituals demand you take a beating, commit rape, or even worse.
Camera storing these images. They show a gang initiation rite called a jump-in taking place in a Fillmore
Number
backyard.
10 Traditional beatdown, aka being jumped. The most common method of gang initiation is the beatdown. It involves the individual fighting multiple gang members for a certain amount of time. The recruit must withstand the beating and fight back. Most gangs have a similar method, including the line. Candidates are kicked and punched repeatedly as they walk between two rows of gang members. The recruit must make it to the end of the line while still standing. If he doesn't, he can try again on a different day when his wounds have healed. But even this can be deadly. In 2010, a senior from the University of Arkansas was beaten for 3 minutes as part of a jump-in for the Bloods gang. He suffered blunt force trauma to the head and died at the hospital later. Number 9. Jacked in. Being jacked in is street slang for committing an auto theft with the hope of becoming a gang member. To show earning potential for the gang, a recruit will usually steal a car, often at gunpoint, to convince the higher-ups of his skill. If successful, he becomes a full member. In January 2008, 17-year-old Charles Brown got into the backseat of a parked car in Keomesha Lake, New York. There were already 3 passengers in the back seat. Brown pointed a gun at the driver, forcing him to relinquish the vehicle. Later, police learned that this had been an initiation attempt for a local Crip gang. Number 8. Kidnapping. To prove themselves into the Vatos Locos gang, Jose Cruz and Hugo Torres of North Carolina started a national manhunt in 2011 after allegedly kidnapping a man and holding him at gunpoint during a robbery. Police said the criminals drove the man to an isolated mobile home. Then, he was beaten before finally being able to free himself to run for help. All of this was done as part of the initiation of Cruz and Torres into a local Hispanic street gang. In another crime in June 2013, Mexican soldiers were able to rescue 165 people, including women and children, who had been savagely kidnapped and held for ransom by Mexican cartel gangs. Number 7. Sexed in. Most gangs are open to recruiting female gang members. As such, a special initiation process takes place. According to the Florida Gang Reduction website, a female recruit sometimes has to roll 2 dice. Then she had to have sex with that number of gang members. Aisha Nembard, a former female gang member from London, said that women being prostituted in order to be accepted into a gang is normal. A lot of girls are sort of prostituting themselves to have sexual relationships within a gang and get treated in a bad way, she said. For example, she might know about what happens to girls in the gang but still sleeps with all of them for the status. Number 6. Gang rape. Once believed to be nothing more than a rumor, rape is a very active and brutal method of initiation for some gangs. 8 teens from a California group known as South Side Mafia were accused in 2011 of luring an 11-year-old girl into a park bathroom where they took turns raping her as part of an initiation ritual. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, gangs started inviting female mall shoppers to a party, where they would be locked in a room and repeatedly raped by inductees. Given the choice between a traditional jump-in or raping a female, prospective gang members choose rape far more frequently in Albuquerque. Number 5. Cutting and slashing. In 2008, 3 kids from a Coney Island school were charged by police after cutting over a dozen students with a razor blade as initiation into a local MS-13 gang. While some students willingly allowed the members to cut them, those who didn't were pushed against a desk and cut forcibly. In another area of New York, similar incidents occurred in 1999, when 6 members of a Bloods gang attacked a woman on a train. They cut her with razors and stabbed her. 2 days later, another woman was robbed of her jewelry. During the crime, her face was slashed so badly, it required 150 stitches.
The following morning, officials located the suspect, who allegedly told police he stabbed the girl in the upper torso area multiple times with a knife, according to a criminal warrant. The warrant states the suspect allegedly told investigators the act was part of an initiation into the Mara Salvatrucha MS-13 criminal street gang.
Number 4. Stabbing. Stabbing someone is a common ritual of prison gangs and it occurs in the streets too. Upon being released from prison, Mark Block of Hesperia, California, noticed that his friend's brother was sporting a gang tattoo, one he didn't rightfully earn. Insisting that the guy make his bones, originally, Block, a white supremacist, accompanied 21-year-old Kyle Smither and his tattooed brother on the search for a target. Spotting a Hispanic male working out in his front yard, the Smither brothers stabbed the man several times and slit his throat. In 2003, a 13-year-old boy stabbed an elderly woman to death after robbing her. This was also a gang initiation. Police found the woman's body in her apartment. She had wounds around her face and upper body. Number 3. Trial by fire. In December 2011, 10 teens from Sweden were charged with aggravated arson for gutting a shopping mall as part of a gang initiation. The Burger Center gang had developed a test for wannabe recruits. It required them to light a dumpster on fire, which quickly spread to the mall and burned it down. But gang arson isn't limited to property. In 2013, Esteril Simpson and Morris Hollis, both of Houston, Texas, were charged with murder after chasing after Carlos Hernandez, a random passerby, and lighting him on fire as part of an initiation ritual for the Black Disciples. Number 2. Blood-in, or murder. Homicides from gang initiation includes everything from drive-by shootings to gang rival murders or even strangers. Some make no sense, such as the 2004 death of Bob Mars, a high school coach from Kennewick, Washington. 2 teenagers, one sponsoring the other for initiation into a local gang, shot and killed the coach as part of her initiation ritual. In Richmond, California, police think the random shooting of a pizza delivery driver was likely the result of gang initiation too. As he approached the door to deliver the pizza, unknown gunmen shot him from behind and killed him. Number 1. Serial killing. The police in Juarez, Mexico have been battling a worse demon as it related to gang violence, serial killings. This is used both as an initiation method and to settle drug debts. Mexican cartels have gained an astonishing death toll in the name of gang warfare. Many victims are found with the skull crushed, having been run over by a car. In October 2013, 20-year-old Juan Pablo Vazquez was arrested after being linked to 79 murders, all which he committed himself in the name of a cartel.